All right, we are diving into some really cool research from the Journal of Energy Storage today. It's all about a battery that has huge potential, but also kind of a built-in self-destruct button. And the fix? Well, it might just be the simplest thing you could imagine. Let's get into it.
So what if I told you we could build a powerful battery out of some of the most common materials on the planet? Seriously, one part is zinc, super abundant, pretty cheap. And the other part? Well, it just breathes. It literally pulls oxygen right out of the air around us, for free. That is the beautifully simple concept behind the zinc-air battery.
But, there's always a catch, right? This incredible idea has a really frustrating paradox at its heart. For all of its promise, the zinc-air battery has this one fatal flaw that's kept it on the sidelines, especially when it comes to making them rechargeable. I mean, just look at the potential here. We're talking about materials that are cheap and easy to find. It runs on oxygen, which is everywhere. It can theoretically pack a ton of energy. And maybe best of all, it's way safer than a lot of other batteries because its electrolyte is water-based. It seems like a no-brainer. And here's the problem. While the battery is just sitting there, a nasty little side reaction starts kicking off inside. It's like this constant internal chemical battle that causes the battery to literally eat itself from the inside out. As you can imagine, that really shortens its lifespan.
So this is the paradox in a nutshell. All those amazing pros on the left just get canceled out by the cons on the right. And it really all boils down to one main villain, something called the hydrogen evolution reaction, or HER for short. Basically, this unwanted reaction corrodes the zinc, it grows these spiky battery-killing structures called dendrites, and it just wrecks the battery's ability to be recharged over and over. Okay, so how do you even begin to solve a problem like that? Well, the researchers in this study found a truly unlikely hero. The solution wasn't some fancy new metal or complicated new design. Nope, it was a tiny change to the liquid inside the battery, the electrolyte. They created something called a nanofluid electrolyte.
And check this out. This image really shows you just how stable their new concoction is. On the left, you've got the nanofluids on day 1. On the right, that's after 90 days. 3 months. And look, they're still perfectly clear. Those little nanoparticles haven't settled or clumped together at all, which is absolutely crucial if you want a battery that's going to last.
So what is this magic stuff anyway? Honestly, it's shockingly simple. You take the regular liquid electrolyte they've always used, and then you mix in a teeny tiny amount, just 0.1% by weight, of these metal oxide nanoparticles. I mean, it's basically like adding a pinch of high-tech dust into the battery's lifeblood. That's it. So how on earth does a tiny pinch of dust achieve so much? Well, it's pretty brilliant, actually. It fights a battle on 2 fronts at the same time. It puts a stop to the bad reactions that are killing the battery, while at the same time, it actually boosts the good reactions that make the battery work.
Okay, here's the first part of that battle. This graph is all about corrosion. That blue line way up top, that's the standard electrolyte. It shows a really high corrosion current, which means the battery is self-destructing fast. But now, look at the red and black lines for the nanofluids. The corrosion has just plummeted. It's like those nanoparticles are acting as tiny little bodyguards, protecting the zinc. And we can even put a number on that. With the zinc oxide version of the nanofluid, they got a corrosion inhibition efficiency of over 66%. That means they cut down on that self-destruct reaction by 2/3. Again, just from that little pinch of dust.
But remember, that's only half the story. The nanofluid also helps the battery do its actual job better, making electricity. This graph shows the battery while it's discharging. Just look at the black line for the nanofluid. It's putting out more current at a better voltage. Plain and simple, it's just working more efficiently.
And what about recharging? We'll take a look. The nanofluids, shown there in red and black, are once again crushing the standard blue electrolyte. They make it easier and more efficient to put energy back into the battery. So it's a total win-win. You get less self-destruction and you get better performance, both charging and discharging.
So the data looks fantastic, right? But the visual evidence, well, it's even more incredible. The researchers took a look under a powerful microscope to see what was actually happening to the surface of the zinc. And wow, the difference is just stunning. This right here tells the whole story. On the left, that's the zinc from the standard battery. It is a complete mess, all flaky, jagged, and corroded. Those are the dendrites we were talking about. But now look at the right. That's the zinc that was protected by the nanofluid. It's smooth, it's uniform, it's healthy. The difference is just night and day. Okay, so let's zoom out for a second.
What does all of this really mean for the future of batteries and energy storage? Well, this research has basically laid out a simple, really effective, and probably pretty cheap way to make these amazing zinc-air batteries a real-world possibility.
And this graph right here is the ultimate payoff. The blue line is the standard battery. Look how unstable it is. It sputters out and completely dies in less than 4 hours. But the red and black lines for the nanofluid batteries, they are cycling smoothly and consistently for over 10 hours. Now that is what a stable, durable battery looks like. So to wrap it all up, zinc-air batteries are this amazing concept, but they're held back by this killer corrosion problem. It turns out that by adding a tiny sprinkle of nanoparticles, you create this nanofluid electrolyte. This super simple change manages to shut down the harmful side reactions, while also boosting the useful ones. And the result is a battery that's just way more durable, stable, and efficient all around.
And that just leaves you with a really fascinating thought, doesn't it? In this incredibly complex world of battery science, with all its exotic materials and complicated engineering, maybe, just maybe, one of the best solutions for our energy future was hiding in plain sight, in something as simple as a sprinkle of dust.